Jannik Sinner has had a seesaw year. The doping row did not let him be, and rightly so. But nor did Grand Slam's success. That didn't evade him either. The triumph at Wimbledon may have managed to push much of the turmoil and backlash that Sinner received from the doping saga behind him, or so we thought. That did not last too long. Sinner seems to have stirred the pot again by rehiring his beleaguered and controversial fitness coach, Umberto Ferrara, the same man who had induced Sinner's failed dope test last year. Not once, but twice. And this reappointment has created a massive storm. Now, it all came up suddenly yesterday with Sinner and his team announcing the re-inclusion of Ferrara and the physiotherapist, Gianco Monaldi, both of whom had left the Italians' camp last year, months after the doping row erupted. The statement was intended to do this: show Sinner backing Umberto's potential, his experience, and convey how critical his inclusion was to Sinner's preparations and goals for the remainder of the year. But what it has actually done is this: told us that a doping misstep, one that could have proved to be fatal, is okay, can be forgiven, forgotten, and moved on from. Now, there were many things that went wrong during that whole saga of last year, continuing on to this one. First of all, the dope test itself, for a world number one to test positive for Costaball twice, should have been treated like the wake-up call it was. But was it? Which leads me to the next point. The fact that the trainer inadvertently let it slip into Sinner's system. Someone at that level should have known better. And 3, no immediate punishment given, which raised a stink in the internet. And even when it came, it was a very convenient punishment, so that Sinner didn't have to miss any big tournaments and did not lose too many points either, reclaiming his #1 rank upon re-entry like it never mattered. Now, all of this just pointed to a treatment that screamed differential. Take Iga Swiatek, another instance of a top-ranked tennis star embroiled in doping. Unwittingly, like Sinner claims to, she and her team have gone about their business rather quietly thereafter, no pomp and show, taking the penalty in their stride and going forward with amendments. And definitely unlike what we are seeing from the Sinner camp here. And to think this was an episode that tore the tennis fraternity apart, with players and fans picking sides when it came to the Sinner doping instance, you can only imagine how this reappointment rather, was received online. A lot of hate there and a lot of heat. The reactions are blatant and bold. Was this all a cover-up, many ask? Just a sham? To then go back to square one with no lessons having learned and no actual repercussions or consequences being faced by those who defaulted. How could Sinner go back to the same people who were responsible for the whole row in the first place? Now look, I'm all for second chances. We are human after all, and everyone deserves to repent and show remorse. But at what cost? We're talking about a world #1 here and how he will be perceived with every move he makes. After a certain stage in your career, after you've reached a certain place, it isn't just about how you play or how good you are as an athlete. What do you stand for outside the tennis courts? It's important. Now, while it isn't as simple as worrying about what people will think of you, it's about doing what sets up your image in the public domain. What you stand for, that matters. Because a world #1 doesn't only inspire people to play great tennis, he or she has to inspire people to do the right thing. Sounds simplistic, yes, but that's what you expect from the best in the business. Maybe if Jannik Sinner came out and openly spoke about this, he may reduce all the scrutiny that he is currently receiving. He may succeed in softening the blow. Until then, though, what this has done is just ensured that Sinner has put yet another wrong foot forward in what has been a long, arduous ordeal for him and his team already.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktoren,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka karj mo.
Indonesian,
Pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Kali radikali.
Japanese,
4兆ドル以上も
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select the language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.